Hi there, this is Jennifer Hough for Agents of Awakening. Yay! Another beautiful Friday, and I get to talk to someone who is near, she's been in my life. Gosh, Tanya, you've been in my life a long time now. Like, it's been a while.
We met in Bali. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. I totally forgot that with Sage. So, everyone, we're bringing you people that we know that the circumstances of life really have very little to do. It's like they're not letting the fear guide them. We all have fears. They come up time to time. Sometimes they come up all the time. But the thing is, there's something about being the reason you came here, being the piece of the puzzle of heaven on earth that you were born to be in these times of great change. I think it matters. And Jeannie, Selda, and I just had this vision that if we could tell people stories that have, it's not that they superseded, overcome like really hard, and there needs to be a statue in a square somewhere about them. It's more like they're everyday people, just like me and you, and they are just courageous enough. It's to let us all know that we can and be inspired and know that we're normal. So, and know that stuff comes up and know how to deal with it and know what average people just like you and I have done to get on with getting on with it. And I hope this really tickles your cells and has you wake up some every time we do that. Please pass these on. Hashtag Agents of Awakening. Hashtag Be the Bridge. Pass these on to your friends if you know that some of the things we talk about are some of the things that they've talked about, or people that you love need a little upliftment or a little reminder that it's possible. So, Tanya Penny is so courageous. Tanya Penny is, first of all, near and dear to my heart because she's an adventurer. She loves to climb stuff, like me. So I love that in a person. The second thing is that Tanya assists people not only with autoimmune diseases, she also assists people who really feel stopped in their lives. And that's never happened to you, right, Tanya? Like, you've never had anything happen that stopped you.
Never.
Right. Tanya's had multiple sclerosis. Tanya has, which is an autoimmune disease of the nervous system, of the myelin sheath. And eventually you're not supposed to be able to, some people don't end up seeing or being able to talk or being able to walk. And Tanya Penny climbs stuff. And it's not just resilient. For me, you are a relentless champion of yourself, my dear. And I know you have lots to say about uh, about the fact that things that we think won't go away can. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. I
how
mean,
did, yeah.
I was told when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2004,
Yes.
long time ago. I was 29. I
Yeah.
was super active, healthy, and all of a sudden I have this diagnosis, and my neurologist tells me there's no cure,
Yeah.
and I'm probably going to get worse, and probably going to end up in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And how many years ago is that?
that was in 2004.
But you took a little non-linear approach, right? Like, you really followed your instincts. So,
Yeah, I mean, for 3 years, it was interesting.
yeah.
I'm an occupational therapist by degree. If I know somebody asked, what is OTR? So I'm occupational therapist. I was actually working with people who had MS when I got
Oh my
diagnosed.
God.
Yeah, in a rehab hospital. And so I knew how bad it was. And anyways, for about 3 years, I did Western medicine because that's what I knew.
Yes.
Um, but I had a turning point. One day I heard a voice, and at the time I was not spiritual.
Yes.
And the voice said, I'm going to show you a different way. And for some reason, I listened.
Well, I relate to that because I mean, I didn't hear a voice, but I started having dreams, and I totally get it. I totally get it. And you can't not listen to that instinct, right? Like it just,
I
it's
tried not.
almost, yeah, I tried too, because I thought people would think I was a freak. So,
I mean, yeah, that's not a popular thing to do, or it wasn't. This was in 2007. It was
yeah,
not super
yes.
popular to my neurologist, to my husband at the time. They were like, you're out of your mind.
So you have a lot of courage because I mean, I get that you cared, but you followed your instincts anyways. And so how did you transcend um, MS? How did you sort of live beyond the jail of the idea that you were going to get sick and not be able to walk? And what did you do?
Wow. So I could talk about that for a long time, but in a nutshell, what I did is I started really looking at, okay, I asked myself the question, what would be the root of this disease?
There we go.
What is at the root of this?
Yep.
I mean, massage is nice, acupuncture's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I came to is that, I mean, if you look at autoimmune diseases, Western medicine says it's your body attacking itself.
Yes.
And if you look at more of a mind, body, spirit philosophy, it's how are you attacking yourself?
Mm.
And I was attacking myself in a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
And so, whether it was the food that I put in my body, that had to
Yes.
change.
Yeah.
A big one was the way that I talked to myself. I had such a harsh inner critic. I had such a nasty perfectionist part of me.
Wow.
So I really had to look at the way I talk to myself. I had to look at my relationships because when you stay in a toxic relationship, that's
Mm-hmm.
attacking yourself.
And it just keeps the same thing you're doing to yourself alive, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I had to leave my marriage at the time. I knew I had to leave it in order to heal.
Yeah.
So I had to let some friendships go.
Oh,
And the interesting thing is, relationships, I just want to throw this in here. It feels
yeah.
important. We typically attract people in that are kind of like our parents,
Yes. Uh-huh.
like the way
Uh-huh.
your parents treated you.
What?
Yeah, I know, crazy, right? So I saw that I had a lot of women friends that were like my mother, but not in a good way, right? The negative pieces. So, anyways, I had to let some of those go. I think boundaries was another big piece, like so
Yeah.
setting and keeping boundaries.
So
Um,
like speaking your really for me that's speaking your truth. It's really
Absolutely.
interesting. It's really interesting when I remember reading, I'm sure you've read this too, way back when. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this sort of quote. It's so good. It says, would you speak to your friends the same way you speak to yourself? And I tell you, Tanya, 20 years ago when I first saw that, I went, well, that's a little life changing. That's,
Uh,
yeah, right.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. I kicked my
so
ass all the time. I pushed myself too hard, like at work, like
yes.
in anything. I just was, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I want to talk about a piece that for me is crucial. It's like we have a little 7 steps document out there. It's called the 7 steps to, it's about basically getting out of your way. Okay. And so in there is my all-time favorite step. I got goosebumps talking about it because I used to get called the lone wolf, right?
I
And
have no idea what you're talking about.
no, I know, little miss climbing mountains just like me. So here's the thing. Didn't we both? Don't you remember absolutely needing community? Like, and maybe it's not community, it could just have been someone to work with or someone to bounce things off of. But when we're alone in our head, all you have is the same perspective you already always had, right? So was it hard for you to go and ask for help or to find the people to help you given how hurt you'd been by other people?
Yes, and I didn't realize it until years later.
Mm-hmm.
That was the crazy thing. I was always like I always was surrounded by people,
Yes.
but what I realized is I wasn't really letting people fully in.
Ah,
So you can be surrounded by people and think that you're getting like,
yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? But until
Yeah.
you really, and I think flight school was when I first became aware that I could be surrounded by people, but I wouldn't let people fully in.
Right. Right. And the funny thing is, it's all come back around because those same people are in a graduate class, and it's like you're there, but I feel you. Okay, which brings up I feel you letting everyone in. But here, let's see you guys. What I want you to hear in this conversation is that you're becoming is not like a static thing. It's like, okay, I have become myself. Yay! Or something like,
I've
I've
arrived.
right, that's right. I've arrived. I've got it, right? Okay, so we were talking about I got goosebumps everywhere today. Geez, that's weird. Okay. So one of the things, Tanya, that we talked about before we got on, okay, was the repeating, like we think that old stuff is coming up again. So maybe I'm independent again, or I like, oh, I don't want people to do, but I know the community and people seeing me is the way that it's being vulnerable.
Yes.
At some point we have to do that. So what's your perception, or have you ever had, I mean, I know the answer is yes, but I'll ask the question anyways. Have you had old patterns come up that were really deep ones, like scary things? And what would one of those ones be? And how did you not beat yourself up? Like, what happened in the process to break yourself free of like just going right back down the hole?
Yeah, I'm glad we're talking about this because I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
The pattern is my fear of rejection.
Okay.
Okay, that came up last week, really big, and it started coming up actually before last week when I came back to the group in Wings
Yes.
in January. I had a nudge like, you need to get part of a community again. You need
Yes.
to, because I had been kind of a lone wolf last year. I
Yes.
was going through deeper layers of healing past trauma. And anyways, so I come in and I was scared to death
Aw.
of being who I am and then being rejected, right? So I've been working on that. And then last week, I had a ton of opportunities to work on it on a deeper level. I had like 5 rejections last week. And my ego, of course, said, you're going backwards. Like, how did you not, you've been doing this work since 2008. How the hell did you, like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, wow. So there's the perfectionist again, right?
Right.
Gotta get it right. Can't
Yeah.
do it wrong.
Yeah.
Should have done it faster. Should be
Yeah.
over this by now.
Uh-huh.
And
Clearly.
I just clearly, right? So I had to talk to it. So this is one of my strategies, right?
Okay.
I talk to it and I say, you know, this is deep shit. I mean, this is deep core stuff, this fear
Uh-huh.
of rejection that was so concreted in childhood.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away overnight, probably.
Yeah.
So how about we cut ourselves a little slack?
Yay.
And there is no going backwards, right? We know that, but to
Yeah.
like know that, like just realizing, and anytime your stuff comes up, you guys, it's like, it's just another layer of it that's like, goodbye.
The response is thank you. Thank you
Yes.
for letting me know, because I
Thank you
want to
for
play
showing
out.
me.
Right.
Yes.
I want to play out loud. Like I want to build the bridges, and I want to be able to, and it's not just that, Tanya, isn't it about like enjoying your friggin' life as well? It's like, and if you don't have people in it and you don't feel close to them, how the heck are you going to do that? And what's so funny, what I just saw about the people, is like, some of them are going to come back around, and a few of them are like, they're like, it's so funny. What I see is you attracted them in one vibration, and they had the conversation with you when you've evolved a little bit, so they no longer match. Isn't that cool? That's like you coming up instead of being rejected. So it's like the ego will go back to some perspective that isn't even.
Yeah. And ultimately, it said it's because you're not good enough.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't just personal relationship.
Mm.
I mean, it can be rejection. Like
Yeah.
I didn't get a certain job that I had applied for. It was
Yeah.
like, yes. So all of it. And it's,
Yeah.
and then I get to have gratitude for it. Like, thank you
Mhm.
for showing me that I didn't even know that I was still holding myself back
I
because of the
know.
rejection.
So what I love about this conversation is that I know people are going to hear themselves in this. It doesn't matter, you guys. I saw this post the other day, Tanya, about leaders. It's like you have to be really scared because some leaders, some teachers still have lots of stuff, and they're going to try to manipulate, or they're unconscious. And I'm like, yeah, like don't give your power away to any leaders. We all have our journeys and things that we're unconscious to. But the cool thing is, you're looking for people that are a relentless champion of their journey. Don't go to just know that when people position themselves as a guru, there should be red flags. Because,
Oh, hell yeah.
right?
Everyone's
Because, yeah,
everyone's still got stuff. I mean,
yeah,
come on.
yeah. Absolutely. So giving your power away let's just assume that everyone's got stuff. Let's just can we get over the giving your power away to people who teach? They're really good at what they do, but they got all sorts of stuff that they're not good at. Promise. I promise. Tanya, do you agree?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I was gonna be a smart ass and say I'm good at everything, but no, I was just kidding. I'm just no, I call it sharing your shit. I mean, I
Yeah,
do it all the time with my
yeah,
clients. I'm like, I'm not perfect. Here, I'll
yeah,
show you,
yeah.
but I will show you how to get to the other side of
Right.
whatever it is, right?
That's
Because
what a bridge. Yeah,
yeah, we
that's
got
what a bridge builder does. That's what moms do. That's what dads do. That's what, if you're the mayor of a city, that's what you should be doing. Like, it's just how, if you're the manager in your company, it's like building a bridge to the other side. You're like just a little bit ahead on some subjects of the people that you're assisting, right? So
absolutely.
it's awesome. So Tanya, I want to thank you so much. Where can people find you if they want to?
Well, I do have a website,
Yes.
tanyapenny.com, and
Yay,
it's
hooray. You can
penny like
also,
the coin. So
yes.
yeah,
And
so
you
that's
you
probably
can
the
find
best
her
way.
on Facebook too, because she's
Yes.
and she's a friend of mine. So you can, and it's Tanya YA, TANYA Penny PENNY, everyone. So you guys, this is Agents of Awakening. If you haven't yet gone over to facebook.com/Agents of Awakening, we are doing that project for the good of humanity. It is not a money-making project. It is a possibility-making project. So please go over there and share stories, share your own stories. What did you do to build a bridge today? What did you do that contributed, that made a difference? Just your gorgeous self. What story did you read? What video have you seen? Just post it. Let's keep bringing ourselves up. Don't worry, eventually we're going to do a book about all these amazing people in the world. Want to thank everybody for listening to Agents of Awakening. Remember, use the hashtag Agents of Awakening and hashtag Be the Bridge, and also hashtag Together We Can. Let's see, is there anything else I want to say? No, just that it's time, you guys. I want to let you know that soon we'll be doing a free program coming up. Just keep your eyeballs peeled. We'll let you know about it, and it's leading up to our Get Out of Your Way program. So wanted to let you know that. And I want to thank my dear friend, Tanya Penny. I'm so glad. I really am so glad you're in my life, Tanya. Not just saying it because I'm supposed to say it every time I finish an interview. I really mean it. I really recognize the degree of vulnerability it takes to keep coming and exposing, yourself intimately in groups with me, in our world, in Wings, all of that kind of stuff. It just, it's really an honor to be a space where I'm going to say I get to play with you. So
Thank you so much, Jen.
yeah, I love you.
It's an honor for me too. Love you too.
Yay.